We are going live now. So let's do Namokar Mantra. Yes, we are live. Please say with me, Sarthak. Where's your brother Tattva today? Is he joining us?
Yeah, he's coming.
He's coming. Okay, let's do Namokar Mantra. नमो अरिहंताणम नमो सिद्धाणम नमो आयर्याणम नमो उवज्झायाणम नमो लोए सवसाहुणम ऐसो पंचनमो यारो सव पावपणाशनो मंगलाणम च सवेसिम पढ़मम हवै मंगलम। जय जिनेन बच्चों। So, as I was saying before we started the recording, that we are continuing with our series on Das Lakshan Dharm. There are 10 dharm in our Shastra, and we have covered 5 of them and so far, and we are left with other 5. We are going to cover 2 of them today. But before that, I wanted to know a refresher, what are the names of the 5 dharma that we have already covered? If one of you can give me names, I would be very happy. So Udyan raised his hand. Go ahead, Udyan.
I thought you were asking a different question.
Sorry, beta.
I thought you were asking a different question.
I already asked my question. My question is, what are the names of the 5 dharma? If you can give me names of the 2, that's what I am asking for. Who knows at least 2 names? Any 2 names of the dharma? Who can give me that? किसी को याद है? आइडियली तो आपको 10 के नाम याद होने चाहिए. That's that's why we celebrate our Das Lakshan Dharm Parv for 10 days. Each day for one, in remembrance, in following of one of the dharma. Right? Ideally, these dharma are something that are followed by our muni, and that way we should all be following those dharma. But because of our procrastinations and our mithya priorities, we don't do that, है ना? So अब मुझे कौन बताएगा कि 10 धर्मों के नाम क्या हैं? 2 नाम. पहला, और जो भी हम वर्ड यूज करते हैं उसके आगे उत्तम तो लगाते हैं, है ना? So Uttam what? What is the first one? Uttam what? Uttam what? Who is going to give me the name? Sarthak? आपको याद आया क्या?
Mardav.
Madhav is one of them. Yes, that is there. Second one, है ना? आर्य उद्यन बताओ.
Uttam Sach.
उत्तम सत्य. गुड. गुड. नॉट उत्तम सच बट उत्तम सत्य. ठीक है, गुड जॉब. 2 हो गए. और बताएगा कोई? फर्स्ट वाला क्या है? सो क्रोध मान माया लोभ, इनके ऑपोजिट है वो. जो फर्स्ट 4 है ना, उनको याद रखने का तरीका ये है कि जो 4 पैशंस हैं, 4 कषाय है, the 4 dharma are the opposite of them. They are the true dharma, the true nature of the soul. है ना? तो क्रोध का ऑपोजिट क्या होगा? What is opposite of anger? That is the first dharma. उत्तम what?
Happiness.
नहीं, क्रोध का ऑपोजिट हैप्पीनेस नहीं होता है. क्रोध छोड़ दोगे तो हैप्पीनेस आ जाएगी. यस, दैट्स ट्रू. बट व्हाट इज द ऑपोजिट ऑफ क्रोध? एंगर. What do you have to do to overcome anger? So if you are angry with your, let's say, sibling, what do you have to do to them to not be angry with them? What would you do? क्या करोगे?
Apologize.
हाँ, apologize. Kind of close. ठीक है. You will apologize, or if you are, let's say, if you know it's the other person's mistake, so what would you do? Beat him?
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness. That's the word I was looking for. Exactly. उत्तम क्षमा. क्या है सार्थक? उत्तम क्षमा. क्षमा मतलब
Shama.
forgiveness. ठीक है आरुष? दैट्स फर्स्ट वन, है ना? फिर दूसरा आता है मान, है ना? मान का मतलब ईगो. सो द ऑपोजिट ऑफ ईगो इज ह्यूमिलिटी. right? Uttam, humility, है ना? Not having any ego, being very humble, being very kind, being mindful. That is how it is expressed. So that is Uttam Mardav. फिर नेक्स्ट आता है फिर नेक्स्ट आता है अ, कषाय में क्रोधमान माया, डिसीट, है ना? तो डिसीट का उल्टा क्या होगा? हु इज गोइंग टू गिव मी द ऑपोजिट ऑफ डिसीट?
सच,
नहीं, सच नहीं होता है। और कुछ सोचो।
Madhav,
अ, मार्दव नहीं होता। अच्छा, किसी के भाई का नाम है, इजंट इट? सम गाइस ब्रदर्स नेम इज दैट, मे बी
Arjav.
योर क्लास है।
I
हाँ हाँ,
don't know.
बोलो बोलो।
Arjav?
यस, आर्जव। किसके ब्रदर का नाम आर्जव है? Somebody's brother's name is Arjav? No? Okay. I don't know. I remember it. Maybe not this class. I take class at my Pathshala also at our temple. Maybe वहाँ किसी के भाई का नाम आर्जव है. So that's how I taught them. Arjav means, Arjav is not just a name. It means the bhav of non-deceit, or being simple, straightforward. है ना? That's what Arjav means. Uttam Arjav, right? You should be straightforward. You don't have to be a shrewd and a deceitful person to be nice or to be successful in life. You can be very successful in life without being deceitful. Even in business, people think that, oh, businessman has to be shrewd. They have to be astute, they have to be smart, they should know what is the best interest for themselves and their shareholders, right? But they need not be they need not be deceitful, है ना? There are so many stories like of the Jain uh, merchants and Jain businessmen. Oh, by the way, Jains are mainly known for their business skills. Majority of Jains have profession of being, of running a business, owning a business. That's the best profession. I mean, after agriculture in India, of course, as per our tradition. But it is traditionally Jains have been following that for ages, है ना? And deceit is not what we are known for. We are known for our character. We are known for, as a society, as a people, we are known for being pious, for being straightforward and humble. है ना? That is what is our key differentiating value. And all that comes because of this thought of being being straightforward, that is being express, always exhibiting आर्जव धर्म, है ना? सो अब आर्जव भी हो गया, तो कौन कौन से हो गए? क्षमा हो गया, मार्दव हो गया, आर्जव हो गया। अब नेक्स्ट क्या आता है? द ऑपोजिट ऑफ ग्रीड। व्हाट इज द ऑपोजिट ऑफ ग्रीड? कौन बताएगा? नॉन ग्रीड, ऑफ कोर्स। बट व्हाट इज द वर्ड फॉर इट? हु इज गोइंग टू टेल मी? ओके, द वर्ड फॉर इट इज शुचिता, उत्तम शौच, है ना? शौच का माने बीइंग बीइंग being very not having any kind of greed in the thought, and always having the clean thoughts, right? So the clean thoughts should be what should be driving your behavior, basically. That's what it is, it stands for. So that is what शौच धर्म is. और शौच के बाद आता है सत्य. सो आई थिंक पहले मैंने बोलते हुए शायद कुछ गलती कर दी थी कि सत्य इज द फोर्थ वन. सत्य एक्चुअली इज द फिफ्थ वन. ठीक है ना? सो आफ्टर दैट कम्स सच और सत्य, उत्तम सत्य. ठीक है उद्यन? तो पांच कौन से हो गए? नाम बताएगा कोई? पांच नाम बताओ. क्षमा, सब बोलेंगे मेरे साथ. क्षमा,
क्षमा,
मार्दव,
Madhav,
मार्दव,
आर्जव,
Arjav,
आर्जव,
शौच और शुचिता,
George,
सुचिता,
Suchita,
एंड देन सत्य.
Satya.
सत्य.
ठीक है? ये फाइव हुए अभी तक. ठीक है? अब ये हमें क्यों पता होने चाहिए? देखो भाई, वी आर ऑल दिगंबर जैन्स, है ना? एंड व्हेन वी सेलिब्रेट अवर पर्यूषण ए के 10 लक्षण धर्म, वी आर एक्चुअली सेलिब्रेटिंग दीज 10 धर्म. अब कोई आपसे पूछ ले right? You are celebrating Das Lakshan Dharm, and one of your non-Jain friend, or let's say a Shwetambar Jain friend, ask you, why do you have 10 days? Why not 8 days? Why don't you guys celebrate, Das Lakshan, the Paryushan Parv for 8 days like other Shwetambars? How would you answer that? You should know the reasoning behind it. Correct, Arush? है ना? तो आप क्या बोलोगे? That's because these 10 days signifies the 10 lakshan dharm, the 10 dharm for us, the 10 virtues, 10 things that are that defines should define our conduct, है ना? So that's why we celebrate the 10 lakshan dharm for the Parv for 10 days. That's why we celebrate Paryushan for 10 days. है ना? अभी 5 कवर हो गए. ठीक है? ये 5 याद रहेंगे नाम? मैं नेक्स्ट टाइम पूछूंगा. I'm going to ask you guys next time. You have to tell me the names as the sequence stands. Okay? Uttam Kshama. I'm writing it down. Uttam Madhav. Uttam Arjav. Uttam Shauch and उत्तम सत्य. अभी तक हमने ये 5 कवर की. टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू कवर 2 मोर. उत्तम संयम, ओके, विच इज द नेक्स्ट वन? उत्तम संयम. अब कुछ लोग इसको संयम बोलते हैं, विच इज नॉट द राइट प्रोनाउंसिएशन फॉर इट. इट इज संयम. ओके, संयम, और एन इज लाइक सोर्ड ऑफ साइलेंट विद अ नेजल टोन. संयम. संयम मीन्स self restraint, discipline. That's what, right? If you want to explain it, the best way to explain it is self restraint, because discipline could be external, forced upon you. Like you have to wear shoes to your school. Like you cannot wear jazzy shoes to your school because that's against discipline. Those are external, somebody else is trying to enforce on you. On the contrary, Sanyam is a discipline, but more importantly, it is self discipline or self restraint. Something that you think about as a rule and then apply on yourself. Right? If you are applying a control, a constraint on your brother and sister, that's not Sanyam. Sanyam is all about application on yourself. ठीक है सार्थक, है ना? So we have so many things. Your conduct is defined by your self restraints. That's how it is, right? A person, let's say, who is not eating after sunset, that's what Jains should do ideally. That is a marker of sanyam. That is one of the defining, first thing when I say, oh, who are you? I'm Jain. Oh, do you guys not eat after sunset? That's how people know us. Right? Oh, are you guys? So, do you eat onion and garlic and potatoes or not? Right? How do you survive without it? Now, what does that tell us? We are known. That's our signature. Even without knowing us, people know that Jains, these are the common traits of Jains. These are the self disciplines, the differentiating, self discipline practices that define Jain people. है ना? And if we are not proud of it, then who should be? Right? If let's say there is a Jew guy and they have their own practices, their own holidays, Sabbath, and their own way of what to eat and what not to eat, and basically they are known by that thing. Same thing for Christian people, same thing for the Muslim people, and so on and so forth. Right? For us, we should be aware. First thing is we should have an awareness about what are the things that are important for us as Jain practices and self restraints. And second thing, not just awareness, we should be proud of them. We should have a sense of belonging to them. Second, and third, as much as possible as a Jain Shravak, we should try to follow the self restraint or Sanyam. Sanyam holds the key. Sanyam holds the key to the path of elevation. Remember we talked about the seven tattva, है ना? आश्रव और बंध के बाद आता है संवर, right? Samvar is the stoppage of incoming of new karma. How would that happen? That happens when you exercise some sanyam, है ना? So that's how it goes. Give me a second. I think I'm in need for power cable, but I can keep going. I can do the talking. That's okay. I realized I have it on my in my backpack, right? So that's how important sanyam is, right? So अगर कोई बोलता है कि हम लोग जैन हैं, हम रात को खाना नहीं खाते हैं, ठीक है ना? पहली चीज तो ये, if there is a fellow Jain who is following that practice, rather than taking it as a constraint on you, you should feel proud about it. You should do anumodna for it, right? You should endorse that practice. है ना? Endorsement is very, very important before even you start following it. Right? So there are these things. Self-restraint is what defines, one of the jewels of Jainism, right? One of them jewels means how many jewels we have. Jainism में कितने jewel होते हैं? त्रिरत्न कौन से? Oh, I kind of gave the hint, but that's okay. How many ratna are there, or how many jewels are there? Who's going to tell me?
3.
Three, yes, three ratna. Kind of gave the hint. Three ratna. कौन कौन से बताओ बेटा? याद है? सम्यक what? सम्यक what? सम्यक what? सम्यक दर्शन, सम्यक ज्ञान एंड सम्यक चारित्र. याद है? सम्यक दर्शन, सम्यक ज्ञान एंड सम्यक चारित्र. Right belief or right faith, right knowledge, samyak gyan, and most important one in practice, samyak conduct or the right conduct. ठीक है ना? Self restraint and tap, the two dharma that we are going to cover today, also goes towards samyak charitra. That's what define your character. Charitra matlab conduct, charitra matlab character, right? If we say, hey, this is a pillar of Jainism or the most important jewel of Jainism, then how would I bring it in practice? By following self-restraint, by following tap, by doing the penance, है ना? Those are the things we are going to cover today. So that's how important they are. The Uttam Sanyam and Uttam Tap. These two things. ठीक है? तो अब हम we'll watch a video, about 8-minute video on Uttam Sanyam first. This includes, of course, definition of Sanyam as it stands. And then after that, there is a story about I don't know how would I call it. So a lomdi, a fox or a coyote, right? I mean, in Phoenix, there are a lot many coyotes. If you go out, you'll run into these coyotes like fox, basically. I don't know if you have it in your side of the country, but in Phoenix, almost every other night in certain season, you will run into them in the woods. So that's what coyotes are. And this story about a coyote who took a vow of not eating or drinking after sunsets, and how in a way she got in a trouble because of that. But then when she was even in trouble, she didn't give up her vow, her her self restraint, the niyam. Okay, another word, very important word for you to understand. How do you exhibit or apply self restraint? You take a niyam. What is niyam? Niyam is vow. What is it? A vow, right? We when we say, hey, I am going to, like, मैंने लिया नियम कि मैं अष्टमी और चतुर्दशी, the 2 days of the lunar calendar, lunar fortnight, I will not eat anything, or I will, let's say, eat only one time a day, है ना? So that's a expression of self restraint. Now for me to apply it right, I have to take a niyam, right? I should recite Namokar mantra and take a niyam about this self-restraint, and that's when it becomes pakka. ठीक है ना, एक बार फिर वो पक्का हो गया, then now we have to follow it, right? So we should be very very mindful and careful in what niyams we are taking, and to what degree and extent we can go, है ना? तो for every Jain you should take one or more niyam in life. It could be as simple as कि भाई, है ना, हम लोग पंच उदंबर फलों का त्याग करेंगे. आई विल नेवर ईट फिग्स इन माय लाइफ, लेट्स से, right? Or I will never consume honey in my life. That could be a niyam, right? I will never take meat. I will never consume meat in my life. I mean, again, accidentally, if it happens, that's a different story. But mindfully, I would never ever take madhu mas ka tyag lete na, madh. I will never drink in my life. Now, what are these? These are markers of self-restraint, of संयम, है ना? आपको नियम लेते हो तभी संयम होता है. Remember this. When you take a niyam, then संयम happens. Make sense, Sarthak? Right? Tattva? Is this making sense? Right? So niyam and संयम goes together. You have to take a niyam, and that's when it becomes संयम, a marker of संयम. ठीक है? Okay. So now let me play the story, and I'll add to that content as we will go through the story. Okay, let me share the desktop because I realize that's easy always. Play it out.
Jaden and the kids. So we all ride bikes and our moms and dads drive cars and motorcycles,
Can
right?
you see the screen?
So tell me one thing. What if there were no brakes in the cars and bikes that we ride?
Can you see the screen, guys? The video? Okay, good. So, the example they are using for self-restraint, the analogy is being compared with the brakes on your bike, right? Why do you have brakes on your bike? Because the brakes can save a life. They can help you slow down when you need to slow down. And sometimes you need to slow down because you may be running into another car or another vehicle or a wall, right? That's what self-restraint is all about. Your self-control, your self-restraint, your self-discipline protect you from bad situations. They give you more control on your own life, on your vehicle. Right, Arush? Hai? So that's the analogy we are starting with, okay? So let me play this.
Would you still be comfortable riding them? Is it still even safe to ride a bike without brakes? I'll tell you, it's not safe at all. Without brakes, there would be an accident. We may ram into someone and get hurt. Although we might feel that brakes are stopping us, they are also very important. Otherwise, we can easily get out of control, right? So something similar happens in our lives too. All the things that we enjoy doing in life, we like to continue doing them all the time, without any breaks. But don't you think it's important to control them too? The way we have brakes in our cars and bikes to control them, in the same way we have sanyam, meaning self-control, to help limit our own selves. For an example, we should try to limit what to eat, how much we eat, how much TV we watch, how much we sleep, how many movies we watch, how many toys to buy, and so many more. But now you're probably thinking, this seems like a very difficult task. Do we always have to think before doing anything? Do we always have to keep everything in control? But why? What is wrong with having it all and doing whatever we like? Whatever we do is for our enjoyment and to satisfy our 5 senses of touch, taste, smell, hearing, and sight. But in reality, our senses never get satisfied. Think about it. Have you ever said to yourself that, I have eaten amazing things in my life already. I do not need to eat any more. No, we never say these things. We just keep eating. But why? This is because our five senses never get satisfied, no matter what and how much we do. We always keep asking for more and always remain dissatisfied. Moreover, there's a lot of hinsa or violence which takes place while pleasing our desires of satisfying the five senses. That is why it is very important to have sanyam or self-control in our lives. Let me tell you an interesting story. Once upon a time, Sagar Sen Muniraj came near a town. He was meditating in the jungle. But a fox saw him and thought he was a dead body that was thrown into the jungle by the villagers. So the fox came near Muniraj to eat him. However, the Muniraj stayed calm and told the fox to not indulge in the act of hinsa, meaning killing. He said, "Hey Bhavjeev, or capable soul, you are in this animal form of Triyansh Gati due to your own bad karma. You should follow ahimsa, meaning non-violence, and take vows to never hurt anyone." After listening to the calm and composed Muniraj, the fox sat peacefully next to him without harming him. The fox decided and pledged that he would never eat or drink after sunset. He also decided to not kill any other animal to eat it. But one day, the fox was very thirsty, and he found a well, but the water level was very low, so he was not able to drink the water. But the fox was smart, so he climbed down the stairs to reach the bottom of the well. But due to the low sunlight, it was too dark there. The fox thought it was nighttime, so he came out without drinking any water. But to his surprise, when he came out, it was daytime outside. So he went down again, but down it was dark, and he came out and saw the daylight. He kept doing this again and again, and repeatedly came out of the well without drinking any water. Even though the fox was very, very thirsty, he did not give up on his vow that he took in front of Muniraj to not eat or drink anything after dark. So the thirsty fox sat down and started remembering Muniraj, and in a short while he died peacefully. Do you know what happened to the fox? In the next birth, he became Prince Pritikar and took Muni Diksha, which means he became a saint and renounced all worldly pleasures in the Samosaran of Lord Mahavir, and he attained moksha, meaning salvation. Do you see, kids, how even a fox was able to attain salvation, liberation, and self-benediction by controlling his behavior and habits through sanyam dharam? So, kids, don't you think we also should practice sanyam in our lives by taking small vows in our lives? We can start by practicing self-control through these small vows. For example, we can decide.
Remember, now they are talking about vows. Vows मतलब नियम, है ना? नियम के बिना संयम नहीं होता है, ठीक है? तो नियम लेना पड़ता है. समझ आ रही है बात? सार्थक? Make sense? Udayan? Right? So that's what they are saying, and they are also going to tell you how a niyam is taken.
To watch TV for only 30 minutes a day, and that to watch only educational videos which will enhance our knowledge and learning, rather than watching videos which have violence and which ruin our feelings. Also, kids, our parents are our best well-wishers, and we should always listen to them and obey them, right? Also, we should stay away from these harmful gadgets like tablets and mobile phones and video games. And when we want to use them, we should always ask for our parents' permission first, right? Yeah. And another extremely important vow that we should take is that we will always check the ingredients before buying anything from the market. Because we need to know what is in there and if anything is made by harming any animals, right? Also, during Astmi and Jodis, which are special days of the month, we should try to go to the mandir and worship Bhagwan, right? Yeah. I know in the beginning it might be tough to keep up with these niyams and vows, but I promise you that gradually it will become part of your daily routine. Having such self-control helps in developing our confidence and our willpower. Self-control helps to develop positive habits, which helps us in accumulating what? Good karma. So kids, from today itself, you will put a brake on all of your desires using sanyam, right? I know you will. Jai Jinendra.
Okay. Make sense? Did the video make sense to you, Sarthak? Huh? Okay. How many of you have taken this vow of checking the ingredients before consuming any or purchasing any food item? कौन करता है? Who already does it?
Me and my brother do it.
Good job, Sarthak. Sarthak and Tatru, kudos to you. Good job. That's a good behavior. My kids do that all the time, every time. Right from, I think, when they were 4 years old, we got this habit in them, and now they check all the ingredients before they consume anything. That's a very important habit to have in this country, at least. Right? Because यहाँ पर तो पता ही नहीं चलता है. People say it's vegetarian and there is egg in it, right? Because several of them consider egg as vegetarian. We don't do that, right, Udyan? है ना? So next time when you are purchasing things, like especially things that you like most, like ice cream, that's the most I would say confusing item, है ना? Things that you like, you should always check ingredients before you consume them. There are so many options. You will always find options. Okay, you don't have to give in to your indulgences, your habits, or your greed. That's a reflection of the greed also, right? And we covered, right, uttam shoch dharm, uttam purity. What is that about? Overcoming our greed is the biggest pollutant. कई बार ऐसा होता है ना, अरे यार इतनी अच्छी आइसक्रीम है, खा लो यार, कोई बात नहीं, एग है तो क्या हो गया. It's the vanilla flavor or that double mint flavor or the double vanilla flavor or whatever it is. Just let's eat it. Oh, cake, of course. Who cares about what they have put in on the cake? Let's go and consume it. That's what will hit you, you know, uh, from and basically, uh, something that will make you a less of a Jain, because you are giving in to your indulgences, and you are not applying self-restraint. Make sense? उदयन और आरुष, सार्थक, तत्व. इसलिए ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है ना, इंग्रेडिएंट चेक करके कोई भी खाना लेना है. और अगर उसमें कोई ऐसा इंग्रेडिएंट है जो अपने को नहीं पता है, गूगल कर लो. You have all have phones now, right? Access to one or other device all the time, every time. If not your own, then your parents. You can always check it, right? For that matter, I have apps on my phone which can do a scan of the barcode of a particular product and tell me whether it is vegan or not. There are those apps available as well. Why not use them, right? We all love technology, and you can use technology to our advantage to live a better life as per Jain way. है ना? ठीक है. तो अब बात आती है, हमने आज संयम पढ़ा. एक संयम तो पढ़ लिया. एक रिस्ट्रेंट हो गया, सेल्फ रिस्ट्रेंट, राइट, विच इज संयम. संयम is about putting limitations, taking vows. It is about putting a sort of a control on yourself, on your own behavior, on your own conduct. So that's what supreme restraint or self-restraint is all about. The second part of it, which is kind of related to it, is tap, penance, or supreme austerity. I call it penance. In some books, they say it is austerity. It's one and the same thing. right? Now, what is that? That is about, exercising restraint by controlling your passions, right? Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh, the passions, the four of them, right? The nau kashayas, the nine minor or lesser kashayas, nau kashayas. Putting a constraint or a limitation or a restraint on them is what is tap all about. And tap is also about uh, putting a control on your mind, right? Now, what does tap give you? Tap is required to burn your karma, to reduce the intensity of the karma that you have already accrued through this cycle of life and birth. The only way you can basically change the power of a bad karma or increase the power of a good karma is by doing tap. That's one part of it. Second part of it is tap that builds your willpower or your character. And you need them. If you want to be successful in life, in anything you do, you need willpower. Whether you move mountains or not, whether you run a business or not, right? Whether you become a doctor or not, whether you are a scientist or not, whether you are a homemaker or not, whether you are raising kids or not, you will always need willpower to do anything in this life. Willpower. I'm not saying power of your body. I'm saying power of your will. That is power of your soul. That is power of your mind. And tap provides you that. More tap one does, more uh, more willpower they get. And you need that, right? If you want to study hard to become a doctor, you will need that. If you want to become the best of the engineers, you will need that willpower. है ना? Willpower can move mountains. And for building willpower, you need tap. Control on your passions. Make sense? Right? Your desires. That is what you need. As a teenager, you need it more than anybody else because this is the time when you have to focus on the right things in life. है ना? You have so many distractions, and if you get into that, you will not be able to do to maximize your potential and bring back best out of your life. Make sense? So that is what tap is all about. So with that, let's play our second story. The story about the video about tap. Okay. Let me see if I can bring it up quickly. Some tap dharm is out here. Okay. Let me play it out now.
Jai Jinendra kids! Today, I will tell you about the 7th Dharm, Uttam Tap, which means supreme austerity. Tap means to control all desires and wants. Once, there lived a king who had 2 sons, Bhartrihari and Shubchandra. They used to live in a very beautiful and rich palace, but both brothers wanted to do tapasya, which is the practice of religious austerity. So, they both left their palace and went out to do tapasya. Bhartrihari went to an Aztec who performed the occult arts and black magic and became his student. The Aztec gave him some ashes, said to rub it on his body, and taught him some weird mantras. He taught Bhartrihari voodoo magic, while his brother, Shubchandra, went to an unclad Reverend Digambar Muni Maharaj, which is a Jain monk, to seek his tutelage. The Digambar Muni Maharaj would always be engrossed in the meditation of the mind, soul, and supreme religious austerity. The Muni Maharaj gave Prince Shubchandra very good guidance and said to him, "Prince, if you practice religious austerity to purify your soul and shed all your karmas, you will prosper." So, Monk Shiv Chandra also started practicing hard religious tapasya. While Bhartrihari did tapasya under the guidance of the black magic Aztec, Shiv Chandra did religious tapasya under the guidance of the Digambar Muni Maharaj. Both of them did tapasya for 12 years. And after that, Bhartrihari's Aztec guru told him, Bhartrihari, now you are perfect in Mantra Tantra. As a result of your tapasya, you have earned this amazing special liquid that can turn anything into gold. Wow! Bhartrihari was so happy and he wanted to share that special liquid with his brother. So, he sent one of his followers to Shiv Chandra Maharaj with that liquid. That follower went to Shiv Chandra Maharaj, but Maharaj told him, I really do not need this. Might as well just throw this liquid here on the rocks. That follower was shocked. He went to Bhartrihari and told him, Gurudev, your brother is very poor. He doesn't even have clothes to wear. And maybe he has even lost his mind. He threw that precious liquid, which turns anything into gold, on rocks. What? And Bhartrihari himself went to his brother Shiv Chandra Maharaj and told him, Brother, what is wrong with you that you threw away the liquid? That was no ordinary liquid. I received that special liquid after 12 years of practicing rigorous tapasya. I have got the remaining special liquid with me. You can make gold out of this and get rid of your poverty. And you know what? Muni Shiv Chandra again threw that special liquid on the rocks and said, You said that special liquid turns everything into gold. What did it turn into gold? Bhartrihari said, Why did you do that? You wasted 12 years of my hard work by throwing it on the rocks. You tell me, what did you earn in 12 years of your tapasya? Shiv Chandra Maharaj said, So only this special gold liquid holds your entire 12 years earnings? Did this black magic and occult art help you get rid of your sorrows and pain? If money and wealth is what you wanted, then what did our palace and royal life lack? If after becoming a monk, our motive was to earn gold, then why did we leave a palace full of gold? Shiv Chandra Maharaj further said, I do not have any magic or any skill to prove the outcome of my tapasya, but it is just the power of pure tap that even dirt can change things into gold. And Shiv Chandra Maharaj took some dirt near his feet and put it on a rock. And can you believe it? That dirt near his feet turned the entire rock into gold. This shocked Bhartrihari. He fell on Shiv Chandra Maharaj's feet and apologized to him and said, Hey Maharaj, I do not understand the importance of your tap because of my foolishness and ignorance. Bhartrihari said, Maharaj, I even fell for fake tapasya, because of which I have earned a lot of bad tapkarma. Please give me guidance and show me the path to the right Uttam Tap, which will lead me to the path of liberation. And Bhartrihari took the Gambari Diksha, which means he renounced all worldly pleasures, like his brother Shiv Chandra Maharaji. Kids, Uttam Tap is not where someone goes to earn worldly pleasures. In fact, Uttam Tap is to give up on worldly possessions and desires. It is for the liberation of the soul. So let us all say, Uttam Tap Dharma ki jai ho, Jai Jinendra.
Make sense? Right? So you saw the video. Now, I was talking about willpower, right? When you do more and more tap, you get willpower. This story was also an expression of the willpower. It talked about the willpower, right? It is with the willpower that the Digambar Muni was able to, he never needed this kind of trickery and powers, right? Magical powers. But he actually had that because of his own willpower. With his willpower, he was able to turn, anything into gold, right? And but he didn't want to use that power, although he had that power, because that power had no significance on his path of salvation, right? On the path to moksha, that power has no meaning, right? If you keep getting more and more gold, basically you are, satisfying your greed only. And if you are satisfying your greed, you are building more and more greed on top of it. You are not going on the path of austerity and renunciation, है ना? So ऐसा करके उसको देखना चाहिए. And we should always be mindful and respectful of other person's tap also. तो अगर आप मंदिर जाते हो और आपको वहां कोई ऐसा फैमिली दिखती है जो कि तप कर रहे हैं, जिन्होंने उपवास किया है या या व्रत रखा है, एकासन किया है, स्मॉल किड्स हु हैव डन एकासन, you should always make it a point to say anumodana to them. Go to them, show your respect to them. You know, when you do that, good vibes come to you, good karma comes to you. You also get, when you know, encourage people who are doing tap, you also get the power to do tap. Make sense? है ना? तो इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंट. ठीक है, तो अब ऐसा करके हमारे 7 धर्म कवर हो गए. कितने धर्म कवर हो गए? 7, राइट? उत्तम क्षमा, उत्तम मार्दव, उत्तम आर्जव, उत्तम शौच, उत्तम सत्य, उत्तम संयम और उत्तम तप. ठीक है, 3 और बचे. अब आई एक्सपेक्ट ऑल ऑफ यू टू रिमेंबर दीज नेम्स. ओके, at least by the time we complete our 10 Lakshan Dharm topic, you should remember all these names. Okay? You can take a vow for that and then follow it. You will be surprised once you take a vow and you try to remember it, it will come so easily to you. ठीक है? Okay. अच्छा, एक और चीज बच्चों, we are going to celebrate Mahavir Jayanti on 17th of May. The new date. Okay, now how many of you would be available for participating in an activity? We are planning to do Bara Bhavna recitation that day, है ना? Raja Rana Chhatrapati Hatiyan ke Aswar wali, है ना? What we can do is we can share the English transcription of it, and then we can all do a few rounds of practice together on how we can recite it with the right tone and everything. Okay, but for that, by end of this week, or rather I should say, so today is Sunday, right? So I would say by Tuesday, I want you to come back to me if you are going to participate or not. Can you do that? Yay or nay? Okay, put it in the WhatsApp group, right? You can ask your parents, check with your parents on your availability, and let me see what time it is. I think it is on the WhatsApp. It's on the WhatsApp group as well. EST 12 noon and Pacific 9 o'clock on 17th of May. So please mark that date and check with your parents on your availability. Remember, it is not our usual time of Pathshala, but it is 12 noon on that day, EST. है ना? So please, can you come back to me by Tuesday? If you can do it today, that would be best. है ना? I would like you all to participate. It's, as I said, very simple. Will give you the script, the transcript in English, and we'll do a few rounds of practice together. Okay? Chalo. With that said, let's do Jinwani Stuti and end the class. जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालोक, देवाणी मस्तक धरूं सदा देहूं धो. हे जिनवाणी भारती माँ, तो है जपो दिन रैन, जो तेरी शरण आ गए माँ, सो पावे सुख चैन. उत्तम क्षमा बच्चों. Remember, उत्तम क्षमा, first 10 of the 10 लक्षण धर्म. We always say that, उत्तम क्षमा. है ना? जय जिनेन्द्र.
Uttam Shama, Jai Jinendra.
जय जिनेन्द्र.
Shama Jai Janand.
जय जिनेन्द्र. जय जिनेन्द्र राजा.
Thank you so much, Ajay. Bye.
जय जिनेन्द्र. बाय.